Okay, welcome back once again. Today we'll be looking at supply and demand zones or supply and demand levels. So let me quickly start by telling us that supply and demand zones or levels, they are levels where price pushes away from impulsively and they must contain imbalance. Now, looking at my chart, you notice something. There are some areas I highlighted with red and I extended it to the right, and there are some areas I highlighted with the blue and I extended it likewise. So that being said, looking at my chart, you will notice something. The areas on the blue, they are the demand levels, the demand zones. Why do I use the word demand levels or demand zone? That's where you notice a degree of impulsive buying to the upside, and the areas on red, they are the supply levels or the supply zone. That's where you notice an impulsive kind of selling to the downside. So that being said, let me still go furthermore. Another thing to note about the supply and demand zones or level is that it has to break the already existing structure, either in a continuation pattern, which can be made reference to as the break of structure, or a reversal pattern, which is popularly known as a break market structure or change of character. So I wouldn't want us to really waste much of our time on this. Let me just quickly draw something fast now. If there's a level on your market now, and you notice that the market is doing something like this, going up and coming down, going up and coming down, going up and coming down. Let me say going up again. Um, so that being said, you notice something that these levels are what I'm going to make reference to my demand zones. These are my demand levels. These are my demand levels where the impulsive buying took place. Please take note, these are my demand levels where the impulsive buying took place. So, and if I have or maybe let me say, or another diagram like this, um, the market was kind of trying to sell and then did something like this. Let me excuse. Let me take this off first. All right, let me get to it. Notice something of this nature on your chart. What's wrong with my mouse? Let me say, you notice something of this nature on your chart. I don't really know what's wrong with that. Notice something of this nature. And so I'm going to make reference to these levels as the supply zones. I'm going to make reference to these levels as the supply zones. Now, why are they the supply zones? You notice these are level where you notice a degree of impulsive selling to the downside, to the downside, to the downside, to the downside. And around here, we'll notice a degree of impulsive buying to the upside, to the upside, to the upside, to the upside. And another thing to add when we say it has to break the already existing structure. So let me say when we are around here, we had this as our high, and we had this one here as our low, and we noticed something that the market broke through this high to create a new high. And let me take this up here. The market broke through this high, created a new high here. So it broke through this high, created a new high. Now for the supply side, we notice something. The market let me take this up first. The market broke this low, created a new low, repeated something similar here, created a new low, repeated something similar here, created a new low. So for now, we will notice that in the trend, the market is actually continuing in a given direction. That should not bother you. I'm still going to get into a break of structure and break a market structure. We'll still get into that further down. Now, that being said, let me quickly give us just another example. Let me know if I can clear all this diagram on my screen. Okay, taken out. Let me go to the daily and if I can see something. Now, looking at the daily chart of the Euro USD for the year 2022, you're going to spot something. Let me take this up. You're going to spot something. The market has been on a precise downtrend. precisely it has been on a downtrend. We noticed the market, this is actually a demand zone here, and after that was created, we can sell. We had another demand zone here. Okay, let me take this way. This is actually a demand zone, and we have around here, we have a supply zone, an area of impulsive selling. So let me change the color to red, so it will, okay. We will have another supply zone here. We have another supply zone here, an area of impulsive selling. We have another okay, this is a supply zone, and there is equally a supply zone, and there is equally a supply zone. So that being said, we will notice something. It's around here now. Okay, let me put this up here. We have a demand zone. Let me make it blue. Sorry for that. You see the one picking it one after the other. I literally have no template saved. So so you're looking at the chart now. You'll be able to spot so many things. The impulses, the moves. So around for the blue, you notice that there's a form of impulsive buying upwards, impulsive buying upwards, impulsive buying upwards, impulsive buying upwards. And looking at the highlighted red levels, the highlighted levels that are painted red, you notice an impulsive selling downwards, impulsive selling downwards, impulsive selling downwards, and so on. So one thing we have to note is that a supply or demand zone equals levels where we notice a degree of buying or selling, either to the upside or to the downside. So let me quickly run through this. We'll have criteria for spotting a supply and demand zone. The first thing is that a criteria for spotting supply and demand zone is that it must have an imbalance. I'm going to get into that later. Secondly, it must have a form of break of structure or change of character. And lastly, there must be a collection of liquidity. Please, I'm still going to go into these concepts deeper and deeper later on. So for now, quickly jump into your charts and mark out supply and demand zones on your chart. Just try to train your eyes to spot supply and demand zone. It's a very simple assignment. Do that for yourself. Rush into your chart and try to mark out levels of supply and demand. It will really help you to train your eyes to spot those levels. And as at this point, this is me saying thank you. Let's move into the next stuff, and that's going to be imbalance. Thank you.